Good morning, everybody. I don't even know. I think it's May 26th, and I am currently 17 weeks, 5 days. Kids have 3 more days of school left, so I figured I would do the whole 15, 16, and 17 week update because it's been crazy. Kids have randomly been out of school. I had a really bad head cold. We had our pastor here and his son building the room on, so I didn't want to be doing that while they were here. Just because like tools and equipment and things like that. Um, yeah, gaslit by my doctor. It's I can't even say it's gaslit. It's more like read my chart and then don't play stupid. Anyways, so week 15, okay. In my 14-week video, I said I am 15 weeks because I was 15 weeks the day that was filmed. But I thought I was feeling better. I was not. I was still sick. I still couldn't hold nothing down. Everything still made me just nauseous and queasy and gross at 15 weeks. Yeah, so literally nothing changed. But still drinking Pedialyte. Sorry, I think it's supposed to rain today or something, so like lighting is a little bit off. Not exactly too sure. Anyways, so it keeps going in and out of like color focus. Yeah, so drinking Pedialyte, all the things. I still have been into avocados with everything and not a breath. Oh, I just feel sick. Avocados with everything and excuse me. Yeah, still same food cravings. Morning has to be a bagel with veggie spread on it, toasted, plain bagel. And that's been like that since I was like 10 weeks pregnant. Like this is out of hand. And then I'll eat like in between and snack like cashews and things, and you know, chili ramens have been my kryptonite since maybe 14 weeks, I want to say 14 weeks, but I know 15, 16, 17 weeks. Chili ramens have been my kryptonite. Yeah, so but still drinking Pedialyte popsicle. Well, that's what I was doing. Same thing with 16 weeks. 16 weeks I was feeling a little bit better, but I was going through that really nasty head cold. I couldn't breathe. I felt like my whole body was inflamed. I could not sleep. I was wheezing and hacking. And I think it was because my house was open and we had the heat off and it was cold mornings and they were working. So my pastor didn't get sick. I just think like being pregnant, it just took me out. But yeah, so I was fighting that, going through boxes of tissues. Started to feel a little bit better. Having really bad hot flashes. My neighbor and his wife are heading out. I know, I just kind of went squirrel. I think they're going grocery shopping. Yeah, it's Tuesday. They're going grocery shopping. So Daniel will see them at work. Um, anyways, just wanted to make sure they was able to get out. Anyways, so with that being said, week 17, I felt better. I've only thrown up 2 times. Now I still get nauseous and queasy, and I'm still taking my nausea meds, but yeah, I'm just mostly like head sick. Being head sick makes me vomit sick, so it's not like pregnant sick. Haven't really felt the baby move. I've felt her, like if I go to like stretch or lean back or something, like, or like if I'm at the doctor's office, I could feel her like push kind of up against and out. I felt that, but like it has a like flipping and fluttering. I haven't felt that, which is really weird because usually I think at this point in time I can feel my kids move if I remember correctly. My oldest is 12, and then I have an almost 10-year-old and a 6-year-old, so like it's been a while. Tired. Oh my goodness. I think I don't know if it's pregnancy related. Well, I know it can happen when you're pregnant, but I don't know if it's pregnancy related or my body's trying to recover from this nasty head cold. But I have been super tired. Like, I have not been able to really sleep at night, and I know that's a part of it, but I've been sleeping better at night now that I'm like hopefully getting to the tail end of this cold. But like during the day, I'm taking like a 2.5, 3 hour nap. And then like while the kids are at school, or when Daniel's home, I feel so bad because like he works and then he comes home and then he has the kids, but you know, he gets it. He gets it 100% and he's okay with it. And like he hasn't said nothing mean to me. So like he gets it. I love him. He's great. But yeah, I can't function. I can't wake up. Like, I'll sit there and I will like open my eyes, or like I really sometimes I can open my eyes but then they close back, and then like there's times where I'm awake but I can't open them, and then like my body goes right back out into sleep. So and then like after like 2.5 hours I have to like force myself awake because I'm like, I can't do this. But yeah, so I've been super tired. I've been really red in the face. I have been, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. My face acne is kind of clearing up. I've had this acne, like really bad breakout, like a fungal infection breakout on my face. Kind of almost like hives ever since like week 2 or 3 after recovering from my hip surgery. And that was a year and a half ago almost. And I cannot shake why it won't go away. But like, I've got bits and pieces all over my face still, so it's not as bad. I don't know what it is. But yeah, that's basically week 16, 17. 17 I've been feeling better. My boobs occasionally hurt. I pee myself a lot. It's just, I don't know. It's getting out of hand. I know this is baby 4. It's stressing me out. And sometimes it's not even a lot of pee. It's like, oh, you have to pee, and then it's like a very little bit. So driving me insane. I'm still craving Sonic chicken wraps. That's my kryptonite. Two. At one point for like a day, I craved, maybe 2 days, but for a day, I craved banana. I ended up getting it. I wanted a banana milkshake from Rally's, and the closest Rally's to us made no sense to drive 30 minutes to go get it. So we got it at Dairy Queen, which is like 10 minutes away from our house. Downfall is, it made me sick to my stomach. A baby did not like it. And it wasn't from the same spot. And I was so mad. Oh, Dairy Queen fries. I haven't craved those, but Daniel got a burger and some fries, and I was snacking on his fries on the way home. And then he gave me the rest of them. But yeah, those were really good. I've been craving like potatoes, like potatoes and cabbage and green beans and carrots and corn. Not carrots, but corn and peas and like and cornbread. So like a southern meal, but I don't know if it's really southern. It's just something I grew up on. We put it in the oven instead of putting it on the stovetop and cooking it. It just made life so much easier for me. I have a squirrel that sees me. I gotta do something about these squirrels. They keep getting in my attic and it's driving me insane. Like, my house is not a hangout spot, and it's literally, they're causing issues. I gotta do something. I have a exterminator come out or something. Anyways, so my appointment, because I want to try to keep this relatively short. So in your first trimester, they don't really care what you eat as long as you can hold it down. That's great. That's fine. Second trimester, now I have hypermesis gravidaeum, and the only thing is I am a bigger girl, and I just like I hadn't lost enough weight to their approval to consider hypermesis gravidaeum. But like I have all the signs, all the symptoms, all the sickness, like all the things. Okay, great. So I go and see this woman, and it was for, I know what it was for. I'm trying to call it something else. But I was having some type of issues, not pregnancy related, and I brought it up, and they had me come in, and I seen her. It was in between my appointments, and she brought up the fact that like, because I had my hip surgery, and my pelvic surgery, she said, possibly a C-section. That's what it was looking like. And I was like, I don't know. Like, everything's aligned now. I shouldn't need it. And I never had a C-section before, and my pelvic floor was shattered from the bus accident. Anyways, so I never had to like have a C-section before. So now that everything's aligned and the way it should be, there shouldn't be any issues. So she was like, definitely bring it up about being, about having a C-section or being induced. And I was like, yeah. Mind you, I was induced with my 2 younger kids and not my oldest, because it just didn't happen with my oldest. It was my first, and I didn't have complications that were scary complications. It was way too long. He was stuck for 9 hours. I gave birth, like, pushing for 9 hours. And then they had to cut me. Like, it was crazy. Like, actively pushing. And, anyways, so she told me Pedialyte, drink water, and my urine was like perfectly fine. They were like, your urine's gonna be dark if you can't hold down liquids and things like that, which I haven't been able to. And she was like, because like literally if I ate something, it was coming right back up no matter what it was, or drank. Like, it just, there was no holding it down. So she said, just keep pushing the liquids, put lemon and sea salt and water and drink it, and then Pedialyte and fruit popsicles and stuff like that. And I was like, great. And then she set up my appointment for the NTIP. NTIP? I think she did. I'm pretty sure she did. But basically, it's like the test that you do. You can find out the gender of the baby. It also tells you, like, if the baby's gonna have Down syndrome and things like that. So I just went ahead and did it, because regardless of the outcome of like what our baby's gonna be like, I'm gonna love this baby regardless, and so is Daniel. Like, that's not the issue. But I just like to go ahead and do it to get it out of the way. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Found out we're having a girl. And then I go to my appointment, I don't even know, 2-3 weeks later at this point. It wasn't long. So I did my actual OB appointment, and I brought it up to this woman who I absolutely adore. I've had her before. I'm not saying I didn't adore the other one, but she was like, you should be just fine for a vaginal birth. And but she was like, if you want to be induced, we can definitely induce you at 39 weeks. And I told her, I was like, I would like to be induced, just because like if something was to go wrong, I'm right there at the hospital. Like, I put all my faith in the Lord, and I know it's all in his control. But he also gave us doctors, and he also gave us he gave us intervention when it comes to things. And I know like setting a birthday isn't God's plan, but sometimes it can be, like sometimes that might be the Lord's way of saying, this is what's up. Now, if you're like scheduling a C-section just because, or if you're scheduling an induction because you want to have your baby here before you go on vacation, or like something really selfish, something not like medically needed, I don't know. I think there's like a difference. Personally, that's just me. But no, so I told her, because if something was to happen with my pelvic bone, or like literally something would happen, like my hip dislocate or something, I don't want to be out and about and then not be at the hospital just because. Like, I had to be induced with my other 2 kids. I don't know if I'll have to be, like, this one, if it's, like, needed. But I would, like, what I'm saying is I have the option. Like, it's written in my charts that I am set to get induced at 39 weeks. We are still coming up with what I feel is safe. So I can either come in, have the room, they give me like a little bit of Pitocin and like help my body go through it, but it's not like the full induction. I can be as natural as I want with control over my body, and more natural as if I wasn't at the hospital, but with just a little bit to help get my labor started. Does that make sense? And I think that's what I'm going to go for. So anyways, so like I'm seeing the new one, or I'm seeing the one I've seen before, and she was like, Pedialyte popsicles, Pedialyte ice cubes, fruit, what is it? Oh, bone broth. She suggested like drinking bone broth and stuff like that, and I'm like, I can do that. She was like liquid diet, mashed potatoes if I can hold it down, because I was further along than I was before, so trying to add these foods. Toast if I could hold it down, things like that. And I'm talking about like hold it down without throwing it up, not hold it down, throw it up. Does that make sense? Okay, so anyways, all this is said, it's in my chart, everything's great. I got a barf bag because I was literally throwing up, and it's fine. I go to my next appointment the month out, which was last Wednesday. And I told Daniel, I said, and now I'm going to tell you what happened and how I was basically gaslit and mad. And I'm also going to tell you the funny conversation that was had between me and Daniel. So before we go in there, I told Daniel, I said, do not tell them about my occasional chili ramen noodle. Sometimes I'll have them once a day. Sometimes I'll have them every other day. Like, whatever. It's literally, I'm feeling it. I'm craving it. I'm going to eat it because I can hold it down. It's like one of the only things I can hold down is what baby's craving. Like, the whole thing, right? Okay. I was like, just don't tell them because I know the sodium. I know I'll never hear the end of it. I know it's like unhealthy. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Great. So he goes, I absolutely agree. We get in there and she's like, we're talking to her and she's like, your urine's really dark. And I'm like, yeah, because I still can't hold down liquids. Like, I'm trying to hold down water. I'm trying to hold down ice. I'm trying to hold down all these things. But I was like, on the bright side, or I even told her, I was like, I've been even putting lemon and sea salt in my drinks and trying to drink that. And she was like, who told you that? And I was like, you did. I was like, you also told me Pedialyte and popsicles, because it was literally the same thing as the woman I just seen too, right? Like, she just added to. And she was like, oh, you're doing all that? I was like, yeah, I can't hold nothing down. And she was like, well, why didn't you say something? And I'm like, I have. I've been on nausea meds since I was like 7 weeks pregnant because it's been so bad. I was like, you've refilled my meds. And she goes, I have? But then, like, I'm like, yeah. Oh, and then right before then, when she comes out, like, hello, it's me again. And she goes, I've met you before? I'm like, yeah. Like, okay, I get that you see a bunch of people and they're like new and like, because people get pregnancy, babies are born, and you don't have to really do a follow-up in between. Some of them come back for like birth control and the annual things, but like, it's not like seeing them as if they're pregnant, right? Okay, got it. Great. Anyways, going back to this, she was like, well, she said, do you have a birth plan? I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm going to be induced at 39 weeks. And she looks at me and she was like, why do you need to be induced? And I'm like, because I talked to about it at my last appointment, because you suggested that I have a C-section, and she said that I don't need one, because mind you, I've had this woman before. Like, the one I had before, I'm gonna call her A. I'm gonna call K and A. So K is the woman I'm currently talking to. A is the one I seen at my last visit. Okay, so I was talking to A, and A said that I can be induced again if I want to, and like, that would probably be the best option, or I can go natural without like being at the hospital, except for like delivery. Great, cool. She was like just had this look of like, why would you need to be induced? And I was like, my hip surgery and my pelvic surgery. And she looks at me and she goes, and she just kind of gave this look of like, why would you get pregnant after having surgery like that? And then like, she just had this look of confusion, like that we never had this conversation. And I know who she is because I literally had her before. And I literally, like, she's the only one in that office with that name. The first name. And I'm like, okay. And Daniel's like looking like kind of concerned because if you can't read the notes that you put in my chart prior to this appointment or from the last one, and you like don't look at like, have you seen me before or nothing like that, like there's a problem. Because like I said, you can have people that you see a bunch of different people. Like you could see 200-300 people like every week and it never be the same people because you see people once a month, right? I get that. But at like some point, read the chart, read your own notes before you come in and see me, or something. And then I brought it up to her. I was like, look, I said, I am not a hateful person. I was like, I'm not a spiteful person. I'm not like mean. I just like, when I told her about my concern, I told her, I said, when I went for my first initial ultrasound, the woman put on there that I was 13 weeks and 3 days based upon my last period. And I get that. But I was like, at that point, I told her, I said, I don't think I'm that far along. Because I didn't. And she was supposed to do a vaginal, like, wand, right? To go and see. And to really look and check and see everything. And I was like, she went straight on top. She put that I was 7 weeks, 5 days. And I was like, I don't think that's right. I mean, it could be, but I don't know. And I was like, if it's being induced, I don't want this baby to be too big and like be stuck again like Mason was. You know what I'm saying? And like have complications, especially after having a hip surgery and it's metal and like a screw popping loose or like a prosthetic hip, like like you never really know how big the baby's going to be, but I don't want to be told I'm due at October 29th and technically I should have been due like October 10th. You know what I'm saying? And have an even bigger baby. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to have complications again. In the sense of like a child getting stuck. Now Mason wasn't big. It was literally my pelvic bone was busted because of a bus accident a couple weeks prior. Anyways, so I'm like, she's like, well, she's the best that there is. The best one we have here. Like, she knows exactly what she's doing. She was like, you told us, she was like, you told that was your last period. And I was like, right, because I was on a depot shot. And I kind of got gaslit because, like, I didn't get my depot shots from this office. I got them from a different place, which was closer to my house. And it was just super easy to do it there. And instead of going, like, all the way to Florence or, the Edgewood or something, like it was right by my house, and it's also a doctor's facility, which is where my kids go. Anyways, so yeah, like that was a whole thing. And then we were talking about food, and I told her like my diet that I'm on, and I was like, I have been eating a bunch of avocados, and I have been eating a bunch of fruit and a bunch of vegetables, and she was, and drinking all the water, and I was telling her how many. Because I have a 40-ounce Winnie the Pooh Stanley. It's not really a Stanley, but basically like a Stanley cup that my husband bought me from Cracker Barrel. And I was like, I fill that up and I drink like 1 to 2 of those a day. Plus like other cups of like water and bottles of water and things like that. So it's like I'm getting what I can in. But keeping it down is a whole nother thing. And she was like, well, your urine's dark. And I'm like, I know. And I was like, anyways, like just this whole thing. And Daniel, she was like, you need to eat more protein. And I'm like, okay, I get that. And Daniel's like, tell her about the chicken wraps. And my blood pressure was already boiling because I'm being gaslit by this woman who I know is not incompetent because she's amazing, right? Like, it was just this one experience. And I'm not saying every experience has to be a bad experience or every experience has to be a good experience to determine good or bad. But like, I was so mad. And then Daniel's like, tell her about the chicken wraps. And I was like, don't bring up my occasional chili ramen noodles. And then that's when I never heard the end of it because Daniel was like, I said chicken wraps. And then she's like, the sodium, the blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, man, listen, come on. And here's the thing, like, I do eat protein. I do. I can eat protein when I'm not in survival mode. That's where I'm at right now. And I don't like I know chili ramen noodles are not that great. I know half a bagel in the morning with veggie spread on it is not that great. But I do balance it out with other things. I do balance it out with water and Pedialyte and fruit popsicles and fruits and vegetables and like salads and avocados with tomatoes. Like, it's basically like it's like a guacamole, but it's not officially fully a guacamole because it doesn't have the jalapenos and stuff in it. Like, I do eat a bunch of healthy stuff. It's a balanced diet. It's literally what I can survive on right now. I try to eat chicken, regular chicken, and I vomit like right afterwards. I try to eat hamburgers. Sometimes I can hold it down, sometimes I can't. It's literally like a toss up of what's going on, right? Like, how I'm feeling. And I'm saying this because I'm trying to have empathy and compassion and grace because I'm trying not to beat myself up on what I'm eating and what I'm consuming, because literally what I'm eating and consuming is literally what I can hold down. And I'd rather be able to hold down something and slowly introduce other foods and then try to continue to eat something and I cannot hold it down at all. Right? Like, that's just where I'm at. And I know it's going to be like, I have anxiety anyways, like, and I'm trying not to stress. I'm trying not to have more issues with this pregnancy as is. And I've even right now, like, I was talking to Daniel and I would love to have at least like 1 or 2 more kids. I would love to have 2 more kids after this baby. But my thing is, with my muscular dystrophy and how hard this pregnancy has been so far, I'm scared to have 2 more kids. Like, I don't know what my body's going to be like by the time we have another kid or 2. And for my health sake, I want to get a hysterectomy just so that like we don't have any more kids. But at the same time, I don't feel like we're done. Like, there's something in my chest that says, and I know it's the Lord, like, it's like I have to pray about it and things, but I just like, I don't know what to do. And Daniel's like, it's up to you. It's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what you want to do. And I'm in a battle. And I need to surrender to God. I need Psalms 64 or Psalms 46, 10 through 11. Be still and know that I am God. And just give it to him. And I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling with the dad. So I don't know what I have planned. Do I want to go back to the same place that I'm going to? I don't know. I love where I go. I've been with them for all 4 of my pregnancies. But there's something that bothers me about like this whole thing. Oh yeah. So going to this part, I'm going to tell you this part, but I'm going to tell you the other part. So when she's doing the heartbeat and I told her we're having a girl, she's like, oh, you know it's a girl? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, we did the test that you do at 10 weeks and the blood test. And she goes, you did? Oh yeah, I did. Just like complete incompetence. I don't know. But yeah, so anyways, like when I went to health is it Health Point? I don't remember, but when I went there, they have these beds, right? And you sit on them and then they can be raised or lowered, and I think they're fantastic, right? Like they're for like all ages, all different heights, all the things. And where I go, they have the old time, the old time, like beds where they have like the footstool that comes out and they have to step high up on the footstool to step up and get on the bed. And then you have to like all the things. I don't think I can do that anymore. Like, I have to have help to do those. One, because of my surgery, but two, like, I can't do it anymore. And I think, like, being pregnant, a lot of women are like, these are too high. Like, this is crazy. Like, you don't have really good balance when you're pregnant anymore. Your center of gravity's off. You have to climb up on these beds, and then you have, like, you can't see down below your stomach. And then you're like trying to hop down, not fall, not die, not get injured. And I just, like, if I was to have more kids, I think I'd go over where my kids go. And I don't know. I'm very vulnerable right now. I'm all the things. June 17th, we go and get to see the baby. I have been panicking. I don't know if I did this with my other kids. I don't remember. I don't think I did. But this one, well, when Mason was born, I counted his fingers and toes so many times to make sure he had all 10. I just did. But like, this, like, when I was pregnant with my third, I swore that he was a girl the whole entire time. And then I did the blood test, told that he was a boy. And then I was like, you sure? And then we went for the ultrasound. I was like, please verify if he's a boy or girl. Like, I need to know. He was, in fact, a boy. And then with this one, I'm told it's a girl. But, like, I'm like, look, if I see that it's a boy on the ultrasound, I'm going to be so mad. Like, not the fact that it's a boy, but the fact that for so long I was told it's a girl. And then I'm like, what if the baby's born? And I was just telling Daniel this yesterday, right before he got in the shower. I was like, I'm having anxiety about the fact that part of the reason why I haven't been indulging and going and buying baby clothes and buying pink things and doing things is because, like, I'm freaking out about the fact that if this baby's born and it's born a boy, we're gonna have all this girl stuff. He was like, well, we can just donate it or find somebody else that can use it. And I'm like, I know, but that's not the point. Like, I'm freaking out that it's gonna be a boy. And he was like, it's gonna be okay. Like, it's fine. It's okay. And then I'm like, my other fear is, like, I keep thinking that, like, our baby's gonna be born without a foot or without a leg or, like, without some type of limb. And he goes, what? I was like, I've been so sick and so, like, worrisome, and, like, I haven't been as worried like, as I would to other situations because I've been giving it to God. And I know that he's in this all through to the end and on and, like, all throughout their life. But I've been panicking about it. And he was like, okay, Miss Ma'am, take a nap. Get you something to eat. But that's just where I've been. I've been stressing, and I shouldn't be stressing. I'm looking at my house, and we need to pressure wash it and paint it. We have a wooden house. And I need to do that this summer. I'm pregnant. And I can't be dealing with fumes. And I need to do it. It needs to be done. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to, not today. I'm waiting until the rain season is done. But I'm going to figure out what exactly that paint color is that our pastor bought for the add-on and get a couple more, like, maybe 10-gallon buckets or 5-gallon buckets of it and have it. I don't know if I have it delivered. I'll probably have it delivered. Paint's expensive, guys. My goodness, paint's expensive. Sean bought a gallon bucket. A couple of them, maybe, give or take. Like, it didn't need much of these, like, the regular size, like, paint cans. They were, like, almost $40. And I'm like, dude, a sample size paint thing that's, like, this big? Like, this big? They're, like, almost $10 a piece. And we got it so the kids could paint their room, the add-on. And I'm just like, goodness gracious, my goodness, what? But, alright, I'm gonna hop off here. It's almost 40 minutes long. That's my whole, like, thing. Do y'all think I was gaslit? Because I'm pretty sure I was gaslit. I am, like, hands down. I'm not the one to play victim. That's not me. That's not me. Just at least read my chart. Read my chart before you come in. Or read it and look and go, yes, I did say this. Because she literally made the chart notes in my chart of what it says. Like, I even have the after visit summary of my previous appointment when I had with her that said these things. And what she noted, she was like, urine's gonna look a little dehydrated. Can't hold nothing down, like no liquids. Putting her on this diet. Ordered the NTIP test. And, like, bring up induction, C-section, induction at next appointment with A. And I'm just like, oh, and then, like, noted all the stuff that she said. Anyways, like, just come on now. Talked about C-section, and it does say this, talked about C-section because of hip surgery and pelvic reconstruction. Possible C-section because of prior surgery. Talked to A about, yeah. Anyways, I just, like, read your notes, please. Alright, I'm gonna hop off of here. I'm gonna go inside. I'm going to blow my nose. I'm gonna do all the things. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.